Zinnovate is a specialist IT and management consultancy business, with technology becoming ever more prevalent in how companies and indeed people conduct their lives. Zinnovate is eager to do right by its customers. To achieve that objective, it combines a focus on emerging technologies with a hands-on approach to its partners, teams and clients. Well, I'm delighted to say that I'm joined in the studio by the Zinnovate CEO, Håkan Nilsson. A very good day to you. Thank you so much for coming here. Now, whenever we talk about companies like Zinnovate, the word global often gets dropped into that conversation. But for some companies, in trying to be global, they may stretch themselves too thin. So how have you been able to go against that? In other words, to have that global consultancy business and extend it?
We scale globally with our customers and with people that are already well positioned in the local market we aspire to go. And the global logistics industry is as global as it gets. So for us, going global is not an opportunity, it's a must. And I think that is actually also to our advantage. Musts can be converted to motivation, and there is nothing like motivation as a rocket fuel for success. Also, it is in a way a little bit easy for us because our customers are sometimes have presence in hundreds of countries, so we actually do not need to sell on the local market. We simply follow our customers. Why make it hard when it can be easy? So following this philosophy, we've been able to build a very nice global consultancy network. We actually even coined it NICE, Network of Independent CargoWise Expert, NICE. So we have the best of the best in terms of the logistics software, the world-leading logistics software from WiseTech Global. It's called CargoWise One. And we've been running a number of truly global projects for the global giants. And I'm happy to say that we have created a level of success running these projects. And that makes it also so much easier to attract and continue to attract the best. There is a lot of truth in the old adage, winners attract winners. So that's our whole philosophy. We team up with the best.
You make it sound so simple, but of course it isn't, because you've got to get them onto your side and establish that working relationship with them. And of course, technology is part of the key to that. Now, technology is all about innovation, and of course we know that it isn't static, it is constantly changing. So how does Zinnovate actually stay on the cutting edge of the sector, that you don't get left behind?
There's a secret. You don't have to be the most innovative person on the planet to run the most innovative consultancy firm. You simply tap into the leading thinkers, movers and shakers in exponential technology. With Zinnovate, I have found the world-leading global community for exponential technology. It's called Abundance 360. It's led by Peter Diamandis in California. And this gives me access to leading thinkers like Ray Kurzweil, Elon Musk, Kai-Fu Lee, a leading AI authority from China, and other people that are into AR, VR, blockchain, AI, etc. And also the new technologies that is reshaping your opportunities to optimize the human potential.
So there's a natural synergy there.
There is a natural synergy. So this also leads to things that are on a very granular level in your body in terms of nanorobotics and stem cells. But you don't need to be the super expert yourself. You tap into these leaders, and then you need to combine that with the deep understanding of your customer's business so that you can translate those technology advantages into a business advantage for your customers.
And these leaders are always willing to share. They don't want to keep that knowledge to themselves. So to actually go with somebody which actually taps into that is great from their perspective. It gets the message out.
True leaders are, I find, very, very willing to share. And particularly now, we live in an amazing time. And we are about to enter into the era where science fiction becomes science reality. Reality. Now, I'm also following a couple of other truly breakthrough visionaries. One is Max Tegmark, physics professor in Boston with the Future of Life Institute. He's written a brilliant book on artificial intelligence, Life 3.0. I can recommend it to anybody who wants to understand where we're going. Nick Bostrom is a philosopher professor in Oxford. He has started the Future of Humanity Institute.
That's a big subject.
It's a big subject. He's written a completely mind-boggling book, Superintelligence. And you can tap into these people. And the Israeli historian Yuval Noah Harari with his book Sapiens, Homo Deus, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. So I think the only thing that I and we at Zinnovate do is actually we have access to those ideas and technologies, and we are so deep in our understanding of our customer business that we can tell hype from disruptive power. That's the key.
And let's take that concept. Would you say that it is that relationship that you have with some of these individuals which sets you apart from your competitors? Because when we talk about IT and management consultancy, there are so many different players in this field, but obviously you need to stand out. Is that why you're different?
I think we're different because on the one hand, we are much broader than competition. We look at things holistically. We through systems and processes and organization and human behavior. But on the other hand, we are much, much more narrow. We focus on one industry only, logistics. And that gives us our enough know-how of our customers' business to actually to be able to translate technology advantage to business advantage. If you're just on the generic level, the only thing you would deliver is an overflow of information. And you will not be able to tell actually what specifically relate to the customer's business. That is the key for us.
So it's more focused?
It's focus, and I think also it's down to that we are doers. We make things happen. So you need to have both knowledge and action. And knowledge without action will lead you nowhere.
But you also have to be competitive as well. And what tends to happen is that in the drive for competitiveness, some companies end up neglecting the customer base. So how do you maintain that balance, if you like, between being competitive, but at the same time maintaining a very important relationship with that customer base that they want to stay with you?
We stay competitive by not at all focusing on competition, nor on shareholders. We focus first and foremost on our own team, and secondly on our customers, but in that order of priority.
And that's a slightly disruptive approach, isn't it? Because it goes against the traditional way of doing things.
Everybody's preaching, of course, customer first, but I truly believe that only if your team is empowered and passionate about servicing the customer, you will actually be doing a truly good job for the customer. If you have a passionate team, they will proactively interact with the customer and seek to continuously improve the business for the customer. So it comes in that logical order of sequence. It may not sound intuitive, but that is the reality I have found.
But you are disruptive in that sense, aren't you?
Yes, and I think it's also important to dare to do things differently, to dare to go against what may be politically correct. We base our philosophies on science, facts, and common sense, and others may think then differently. For instance, to me it's nonsense to treat everybody the same way. We are individuals, and I try to treat every team member individually, uniquely good. If someone is genetically wired to be a high performer in the morning and another is genetically wired to be a high performer later in the day, you should allow for such an environment so both of these genetically differently wired team members can perform optimally.
Rather than favouring one over the other.
The job of a leader is to pave way for your teammates' success, and you do that by allowing them to optimize their own potential, and that is different because we We may be 99.5% equal, but it is the small difference that makes the difference, and you need to honor that.
We're living in an age where technology is constantly evolving, and certainly what you're doing is a manifestation of that. So how can you stay relevant in that shifting paradigm?
That's actually another commonly used phrase that I find a little bit, I have a little bit of a difficult time. We don't have the ambition to stay relevant. We have much higher ambitions. I think an ambition must be inspirational enough to ignite passion with your team members. Our ambition is to give our customers unfair advantages, not just be relevant, unfair advantages. And we do that through ever-evolving technology. Ever-evolving technology is not a threat to us. That's the core ingredient for our success. We need to master that, and we need to master how to translate that to business advantage for our customers.
So if people talk about relevant, aren't they? The impression I get here is that if you use that word, if it buries itself in the DNA of a company's language, they're actually limiting themselves. So they're undermining what they seek to do.
I think so. I think relevant is a hygiene factor. Being irrelevant is, of course, you're out of business. If you're relevant, you're in the business, but you may not ignite passion with your team members. You may not deliver impressive value to the customers. You hang into the game. We aspire to do much more than hanging into the game.
It's a great philosophy, and I'm sure you'd agree with me that part of making it work is having the team, the guys at the coalface. So how does your business ensure that that employee base is invigorated, that everybody shares the same vision and they can move things to that next level, wherever it may be?
I'm going to say something that also makes us sound as a very odd company. We don't make budgets. You don't make budgets. We don't make budgets. Zinnovate has existed and has accelerated in growth and revenue over 6 years without making a single budget. We don't make a budget to improve 10%. We have doubled and tripled revenue and profits every year for 6 years, and sometimes even more than double and tripled. So if you limit yourself with some sort of 10 or 20%, that will be the glass ceiling. We have one KPI, ROC. It doesn't stand for return on cash, it stands for return on competence. And it's measured by two things: the value we deliver to customers by translating the competence of our team into value for customers, and the inner fulfillment that results in for our teammates, that they can see that their competence is delivering value to customers. And that return on competence for the teammates may be different. For some, it is the ability to travel the globe. For others, it is inner fulfillment. For some, it may be monetary rewards. But I am not the one to decide what that value is. The teammate is to decide that. And I think in this, I'm especially also proud when we're talking about the team that we operate in the crossroad between IT, logistics, and management consultancy. That's a very male-dominated crossroad. But we have some superwomen in our team. And if I may, I would actually like in this call to mention a few of them. It also shows how geographically spread we have. We have Kushla from New Zealand. We have Kate from Australia. From the Philippines comes Nora. Jojo Shan in Hong Kong. Lavinia and Elena in the US. And of course here in Europe, Emily and Julia. We are blessed with having these superwomen. And of course we have a couple of pretty good guys as well.
But they're not quite the minority yet.
No, but I think it is particularly in an industry which is so tilted towards male dominance. It is an extra asset for us to have. I shouldn't say we're not one-sided with
but you're
superwomen.
looking at that gender balance. It's obviously something that's very important to you guys.
Yes, and I think for the very best reason. We have a number of women in our team, not because we have hand-picked women, simply because they are the best of the best.
But I'm not going to undermine that. What is the world without women? Good women.
No, I think the balance. For me, it is maybe easier to appreciate because I worked in a truly global environment for decades. So I understand the power of different cultural influences, etc. I also understand that it oftentimes takes longer to arrive at a commonly good decision. But usually that decision is on a higher level of quality. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is, as I stated before, the fulfillment of your team and the value you deliver to your customers. But I think also in that journey, you not only improve your odds by having a team that is strong in different genders and cultures.
Absolutely. Well, it's more reflective of the world, and it sends out a very positive message to women as well, that they can get involved in this, they can do this, they can be game changers in their own right. So given what you're doing, because you are disruptive, if you and I are talking in this studio, or it could be another studio, in 5 years' time, what sort of a company are we going to be talking about?
We're going to continue to grow globally. It is almost by definition, we have been very privileged to tap into the biggest logistics companies. And we are, in a way, although our focus is on the leading edge of logistics software, what we're really doing for our customers is help them to be successful in global transformation. And that is quite a unique game. It is not enough just to bring IT skills and process skills and organizational skills. You have to have a little bit of experience under your belt in driving global transformation projects. And we have accumulated that experience with successes and with failures. You learn from both. So what I see when I look into the future, I see that we can now distill those insights and experiences gained from, again, successes and failures, and speed up the process of helping our customers to transform globally, because we need to speed up. They need to speed up. The exponential pace of technology development is completely reshaping industries. And if our customers, the huge logistics companies, are not keeping pace with it, they in turn will be disrupted. And and finally also on that, I think we will continue with our mantra that it's not just about helping our customers grow their business and increase value, it is to help our teammates to grow and together, collectively, have fun on the journey. We should never lose sight of that happiness element.
And you'll have even more women working for you as well.
I'm sure we will.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure we will.
Håkan, Nilsson, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us in the studio, and good luck with your roadmap for the future.
Thank you. My pleasure, Julia. Thank you.
Thank you.